Diplomatic collapse. Humanity's exodus shocks the Galactic Council. The gleaming silver shuttle carrying Commander Sujin Park docked at Harmony Station, the massive orbital facility where the Galactic Council conducted its affairs. She straightened her blue uniform and took a deep breath. Today she would represent all of humanity before 23 alien species who had been traveling between stars since humans were still using stone tools. "Ready, Commander?" asked Tae-ho Kim, the science director whose breakthrough calculations had finally given Earth faster-than-light travel. His eyes betrayed his nervousness despite his calm voice. "As ready as anyone can be to meet aliens who've been watching us for decades," Sujin replied with a small smile. "Remember the plan. We show respect, but we don't reveal everything." The airlock hissed open, revealing a corridor lined with beings of various shapes and sizes. Some had multiple limbs, others hovered above the ground, and a few seemed to shimmer between physical states. At the far end stood High Arbiter Kel, a tall, slender being with silver skin that reflected the station's lights. "Welcome, humans of Earth." Kel's voice was deep yet musical. "Your journey to the stars has been remarkable to witness. The Council acknowledges your species' determination." Sujin bowed slightly. "We thank the Council for this opportunity. Earth hopes to learn from and contribute to galactic society." The next 6 hours consisted of formal introductions, explanations of Council protocols, and the beginnings of what would become humanity's probationary membership. Throughout it all, Sujin noticed how carefully some Council members watched her reactions. She maintained a friendly but reserved demeanor, hiding her surprise at some of the advanced technologies casually displayed around the station. That evening, in their private quarters, the human delegation gathered to share observations. "They're at least 500 years ahead of us technologically," Tae-ho said, scanning data on his tablet. "But they seem strangely inefficient in how they use that technology." Jinna Lee, their diplomatic advisor, nodded. "I noticed that too. Their bureaucracy is massive. Decision-making seems very slow." Sujin activated the privacy field that Earth's best engineers had designed. "Did anyone else notice how surprised they seemed when we started picking up their languages so quickly?" "Yes," Jinna confirmed. "The translator from the MREC delegation actually asked me how we could adapt so fast. I gave a vague answer about human cognitive flexibility." "Keep doing that," Sujin ordered. "We need to learn everything while keeping our own capabilities somewhat understated." Something felt off today. Over the next 3 months, the human delegation integrated into Council activities with remarkable speed. Tae-ho's scientific insights earned praise from Council researchers. Jinna decoded the complex web of alliances and rivalries among member species. Humanity's application for full membership was fast-tracked, something that hadn't happened in over 4 centuries. Yet Sujin maintained her private communications with Earth's Defense Director Hanbin Cho. "Continue with the contingency plans," she instructed during their secure weekly briefing. "The Council is welcoming, but I've noticed the oldest species watching us with what I can only describe as concern. The shipyards are working at maximum capacity," Hanbin replied. "The stealth tech is being implemented across the fleet. If your instincts are right, we'll be ready." On the day humanity was formally welcomed as the 24th member of the Galactic Council, celebrations erupted across Earth. But at the ceremony, Sujin noticed how the Vor representatives, one of the founding species, whispered among themselves while watching the humans. Later, she overheard a conversation not meant for human ears. 2 council members speaking in an ancient dialect they believed no human had yet mastered. "They advanced too quickly," one said. "Have you seen how they've already improved the efficiency of our recycling systems?" "Yes," the other replied. "The governance committee is already discussing containment options. The Vor are particularly concerned." "Containment?" the first asked. "For the greater stability of the galaxy. It's happened before." Sujin maintained her pleasant expression as she walked past, but her heart raced. That night, she sent a single, encrypted message to Earth: "Initiate Protocol Dawnwatch. We need to prepare for the possibility that our new friends might become our jailers." Diplomatic collapse, humanity's exodus, shocks the Galactic Council. 10 years passed since humanity joined the Galactic Council. Earth had established 17 thriving colonies across different star systems. Human ships moved freely through Council space, carrying goods and ideas. Earth's economy grew stronger each year, as humans applied their innovative thinking to galactic trade. Du Yongkang served as Earth's trade representative. He sat in his office on Harmony Station reviewing the latest council proposals. His eyebrows furrowed as he studied the document before him. "This is the third regulatory change this month," he muttered, all targeting human shipping routes. The door slid open and Jiwoo Yoon rushed in. Her job was monitoring council communications. Her usually calm face showed clear worry. "You need to see this," she whispered, placing a data crystal on his desk. "I intercepted it from the secure Vor communication network. They don't know I broke their encryption." Du Young inserted the crystal into his reader. His eyes widened as he read the contents. The document outlined plans to restrict human ships to areas near Earth. It mentioned containing the human problem and preventing further disruption to established order. "How long have they been planning this?" he asked. "Based on the communication logs, at least 3 years," Jiwoo replied. "They've been smiling at us while planning to cage us." Du Young immediately contacted Commander Soo-Jin Park, who had become Earth's senior ambassador. Within an hour, they gathered with other key human officials in a secure room, deep within the human sector of Harmony Station. "The evidence is clear," Soo-Jin said, her voice tight with controlled anger. "The Council, led by the Vor, plans to restrict humanity to our home system. They fear our growth and adaptability." "But why?" asked Tae-ho Kim. "We've helped solve their energy distribution problems. Human medical techniques have been shared freely." "That's exactly why," Min-seo Choi, the security chief, replied. "We've accomplished in 10 years what took other species centuries. We learn too quickly, adapt too well. It frightens them." Soo-Jin nodded grimly. "Tomorrow I'll request an emergency council session. We need to hear them admit this directly before we decide our next steps." The emergency session turned out worse than they expected. The council chamber fell silent as the evidence of their plans was presented. Then, instead of denial, High Arbiter Kell simply nodded. "Yes, these measures have been approved by majority vote," Kell announced calmly. "Humanity's rapid expansion presents a destabilizing influence. For the greater harmony of galactic society, your species will be contained to your home system until you demonstrate more predictable development patterns." "And if we refuse?" Soo-Jin asked, her voice steady despite her shock. A Vor representative named Tool stepped forward. "The combined fleets of council races surround your worlds already. This is not a negotiation. It is a notification." The human delegation requested a recess. In their private chamber, Soo-Jin activated a secure channel to Earth. "They've shown their true faces," she told Defense Director Hanbin Cho. "How ready are we?" Hanbin's image nodded, gravely on the screen. "Protocol Exodus is at 90% readiness. We need 3 more months for full implementation." "We may not have 3 months," Soo-Jin replied. "The Council believes they hold all the power. We need to play for time." When the session resumed, Soo-Jin presented a face of reluctant acceptance. "Humanity requests a transition period of 6 months to adjust our trade routes and recall our citizens." The Council, believing they had won without conflict, agreed to 4 months. As the human delegation left the chamber, Jinna Lee whispered to Soo-Jin, "They think we're accepting defeat." Soo-Jin allowed herself a small, grim smile. "Let them think that. Meanwhile, send the coded message to all human worlds. Nightfall. Approaching. Prepare for dawn elsewhere." That night, while the Council celebrated their diplomatic victory, humanity began the greatest secret operation in their history. Across 17 worlds, people packed essential belongings. Hidden shipyards activated massive vessels that had been built in secret. The Exodus had begun. Diplomatic collapse, humanity's exodus, shocks the Galactic Council. The coded message, nightfall approaching, Prepare for dawn elsewhere activated plans on every human world. Security Chief Min-seo Choi coordinated from a hidden command center beneath Luna City. Massive screens displayed real-time progress reports from all 17 human colonies. Green lights blinked across the displays as each sector confirmed readiness. Phase 1 is proceeding on schedule, Min-seo reported to Commander Soo-jin Park, who had returned from Harmony Station. The Council monitoring systems remain unaware. How is that possible? Soo-jin asked, watching as the evacuation numbers climbed. They have ships surrounding our worlds. Their sensors look for energy signatures and ship movements, Min-seo explained. They don't count people. Our stealth transport technology is working perfectly. Protocol Exodus had been developed in secret for 8 years. While Council members saw humans building visible colonies and trade networks, they never discovered the hidden shipyards constructing massive generation ships. These vessels could sustain millions of people for decades if necessary. Each was equipped with advanced stealth systems reverse-engineered from studying Council technology. On Earth, people packed only essential belongings. Families said goodbye to ancestral homes knowing they might never return. The atmosphere was solemn but determined. News networks maintained normal broadcasts while encrypted messages told citizens when to report to underground transport stations. Junho Lee, a farmer from Korea, held his daughter's hand as they boarded the shuttle that would take them to the generation ship New Horizon. "Where are we going, Dad?" 8-year-old Sumi asked. "To find a new home," Junho replied softly. "Somewhere we can be free." Similar scenes played out across human space. The evacuation proceeded in carefully planned waves. First came essential personnel, engineers, doctors, scientists, and teachers. Then families with children. Finally, military forces would cover the retreat of the last civilians. In orbit around each human world, massive ships quietly filled with people. Council patrols passed nearby, unaware of the stealth fields hiding the enormous vessels. Meanwhile, automated systems maintained normal power signatures and communication patterns on the surfaces below, creating the illusion of business as usual. On Harmony Station, a junior council diplomat named Yoon-ji Nam noticed something strange. Her job involved monitoring human trade reports, and the latest numbers showed unexpected patterns. "The volume doesn't make sense," she muttered, comparing charts. "Resource consumption is down 15% across all human worlds, but they report normal population levels." She brought her findings to her supervisor, a VOR administrator who dismissed her concerns. "Humans are simply becoming more efficient," the VOR said. "It aligns with their technological patterns." Yoon-ji wasn't convinced. She dug deeper into the data, discovering more inconsistencies. Power grid usage was declining in major cities. Public transport ridership was down. Yet human representatives continued to attend council meetings, acting as if nothing had changed. By the end of the second month, over 7 billion humans had silently departed Earth. The generation ships moved to predetermined coordinates beyond council scanning range. Smaller human colonies were already completely evacuated, though automated systems maintained the appearance of activity. Aboard the command ship Polaris, Soo-jin received the daily report from Han-bin Cho. "Earth evacuation is at 85%, he said. "We've had a few close calls with council patrols, but our stealth systems held. The remaining population will be evacuated within 2 weeks." "And the final message?" Soo-jin asked. Han-bin nodded grimly. "Prepared and ready. Once the last ships clear safe distance, automated systems will deliver it to every council world, simultaneously." Yoon-ji finally convinced a council security team to visit New Terra, one of the smaller human colonies. What they found shocked them. A fully functioning city without people. Automated systems ran everything, creating the perfect illusion of occupation. Emergency alerts flashed across council channels as inspection teams rushed to other human worlds, discovering the same eerie emptiness. By then, it was too late. The human exodus was nearly complete. 11 billion people had vanished into the depths of space, leaving behind only empty cities and a recorded message from Commander Soo-jin. "Park, we choose our own path among the stars. Diplomatic collapse, humanity's exodus. Shocks the Galactic Council. Chaos erupted in the Grand Council chamber. Representatives from 23 alien species shouted over each other, demanding explanations. The massive circular room with its soaring crystal dome had never witnessed such disorder in its 1,000-year history. Silence. High Arbiter Kel's voice cut through the noise. The chamber gradually quieted, though tension remained thick in the air. We will address this crisis in an orderly manner. At the center of the chamber, holograms displayed images from Earth and the other human colonies. Streets stood empty. Buildings were intact but abandoned. Automated systems continued to function, maintaining the appearance of civilization without its creators. Council Elder Jae-hoon Beck stepped forward, his usually composed face twisted with anger. How could an entire species disappear? 11 billion humans. Where have they gone? What are they planning? The Vor delegation, who had pushed hardest for human containment, looked particularly disturbed. Their leader spoke in a hissing whisper that carried throughout the chamber. Our surveillance network is the most sophisticated in known space. This should have been impossible. Security fleets had been dispatched to every human world. They found the same situation everywhere. Functioning cities devoid of people. Earth's orbital defenses remained active, preventing close approach, but long-range scans confirmed the planet's population had vanished. Eun-ji Nam, the junior diplomat, who had first noticed irregularities in human trade reports, was summoned before the council. I tried to warn you, she said simply. The signs were there for weeks. Could they have developed mass teleportation technology? Asked a representative from the insectoid trill species. Unlikely, replied the council's chief scientist. More probable is that they built stealth ships capable of evading our detection systems, but the scale required, it's unprecedented. Reports began arriving from patrol ships at the edges of council space. Brief sensor readings showed massive energy signatures at the galactic rim before they disappeared into uncharted regions. The human ghost fleet had been spotted, but only after it was already beyond pursuit. In a private chamber, the council's inner circle gathered for an emergency session. The mood was grim. We severely underestimated them, said Tool, the senior, or representative. They must have been planning this for years, even while smiling at our diplomatic functions. The message they left behind. What did Commander Park mean by choosing their own path among the stars? Asked another council member. It means they rejected both options we gave them, High Arbiter Kel replied quietly. They would neither submit to containment nor fight a war they might lose. Instead, they created a third option we never anticipated. Fear spread through council space as the full implications became clear. A species advanced enough to disappear 11 billion people without detection could return just as silently. Some worlds began constructing new defensive systems. Others called for massive search operations to locate the human Exodus fleet. On the Vor homeworld, civilians demanded answers from their government. How could humans build such technology without detection? Had the Vor leadership's push for containment prompted this crisis? Trade routes suffered as merchant ships demanded military escorts, fearing human raiders might appear without warning. The Council's authority, once unquestioned, now faced its greatest challenge in centuries. 3 months after the Exodus, a Trill science vessel detected unusual energy readings in a distant sector. Investigation found an empty human colony ship, deliberately left behind. Its computer contained technical specifications for the stealth systems that had allowed humanity to escape. The message was clear. This is only a fraction of what we can do. They want us afraid, Jae-hoon said during the next council session. They want us looking over our shoulders, wondering where they are and what they're planning. High Arbiter Kel nodded slowly. And they have succeeded. The question now is, will they return as friends, enemies, or something else entirely? Diplomatic collapse. Humanity's exodus shocks the Galactic Council. 3 years passed since humanity vanished from council space. The initial panic had settled into an uneasy vigilance. Council worlds maintained heightened security, but no sign of human activity had been detected. Some began to wonder if the Exodus fleet had traveled to another galaxy entirely, never to return. Then it happened. A signal spread across every communication network in Council space simultaneously. It bypassed all security protocols as if they didn't exist. On countless worlds, the same message appeared. Greetings from the Terran Accord. We extend an invitation to the Galactic Council. The message contained coordinates to a stellar cluster beyond the Council's mapped territories. After heated debate, the Council assembled an expedition. Council Representative Hyun-Woo Kwan, known for his diplomatic skills, was chosen to lead the mission. His ship, accompanied by a small security fleet, entered uncharted space following the provided coordinates. After 2 weeks of travel, they reached the outer edge of the system. Sensors detected unusual activity ahead. "Sir, you need to see this," the navigator said, voice trembling slightly. Hyun-Woo moved to the viewport and felt his breath catch. Before them stretched not 1 or 2 settlements but an entire civilization. 16 planets showed signs of terraforming in various stages. Massive orbital stations circled gas giants. Ships of unfamiliar design moved purposefully between worlds. "Incoming transmission," reported the communications officer. A woman's face appeared on the main screen. "Welcome to New Horizon. I am Ambassador Young-Mi Shin of the Terran Accord. We've been expecting you." The Council ships were escorted to the largest orbital station. As they docked, Hyun-Woo could scarcely believe what they had accomplished in just 3 years. The station's interior revealed wide corridors, gardens, and busy markets. Children played in designated areas while adults went about their business. This was no desperate refugee camp. It was a thriving society. Ambassador Shin greeted the delegation personally. "Please follow me to the observation deck. There's something you should see." From the deck's massive windows, they could see the surface of the planet below. Cities spread across terraformed valleys. Forests and lakes dotted the landscape that, according to Shin, had been barren rock just 3 years ago. "How is this possible?" Hyun-Woo asked. "Even with advanced technology, terraforming takes decades." Young-Mi smiled. "Not with our methods. We've made certain advances that the Council might find interesting." The diplomatic meetings lasted 5 days. The Council delegation learned that humanity had established 16 colony worlds, connected by a network of transit gates more efficient than Council technology. Their population was growing steadily, with new children born daily in state-of-the-art medical facilities. On the final day, Hyun-Woo presented the Council's formal request. The Council proposes that the Terran Accord rejoin Galactic Society under special provisions that would allow for your unique development pace. Young-Mi's expression remained polite but firm. "The Accord respectfully declines Council oversight. However, we are open to establishing diplomatic relations between equals and mutually beneficial trade agreements. You must understand our concern," Hyun-Woo pressed. "Your technological advancement rate is unprecedented." "Yes," Young-Mi replied simply. "And now, you understand why containment would never have worked. Humanity will not be caged, but we have no interest in conflict. We would rather build than destroy." As proof of good faith, she provided technical specifications for improved agricultural systems that could end food shortages on several Council worlds. "Consider it a gift between neighbors," she said. When the Council ships departed, Hyun-Woo stood at the viewport watching the Terran Accord grow distant. He drafted his report with careful words. "The humans have achieved in 3 years what would take other species centuries. They offer friendship, but will not accept governance. Our galaxy has forever changed. The Council must adapt or risk becoming irrelevant in this new era." Back on their central world, the human leaders raised glasses in a toast. "To finding our own path among the stars," Commander Soo-Jin Park said, "and to showing the galaxy what humanity can truly achieve when free to reach our full potential."